Alright, so this is San Francisco, a well-known city in California, United States. The current video is the second half of an inline skating trip that started in the downtown area of San Francisco. So over here, had me go along the waterfront. And here's the thumbnail of that video. Go check it out. It's already on my channel. And the second half of the video starts about here, Marina Boulevard. And the target, let's say, of the second half of the trip was the legendary Golden Gate Bridge. And it turned out to be a very legendary trip, for sure. And at times the trip felt almost unreal, like as if you were on an island in the sky. And that's because of the fog around you, the altitude, of course. And I hope the current footage that you see right now actually conveys that, but much more on that later. During this trip, I battled several things. I battled elevation. You'll see some fun footage of that. I battled the intensifying fog because it wasn't a clear day, and usually you'd see the very nice sunny sky pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge, but the reality is that more days there's actually a grey, foggy sky. And the winds were legendary as well. More on that later. Now, what I did, I took Marina Boulevard and I made my way onto Mason Street. And right here, let me zoom in. Right here, I took Crissy Field Avenue. Now, Crissy Field Avenue, that sounds nice. It looks nice on the satellite map over here, but it actually had a really high inclination percentage. So I made my way to the entrance of the bridge, which I have to zoom out a little bit, which is over here. Coastal Trail. So I had done a lot of climbing already by that time, and then the real fun started. The bridge. Now, more on that later, obviously. I have to say that this is the bridge of superlatives. It used to be the world's tallest suspension bridge until 1998, and the world's longest suspension bridge until 1964. Now, as far as for my own inline skating career, taking on the Golden Gate Bridge was definitely one of the most Spartan trips ever, maybe the most Spartan trip. And it still is the largest bridge I've ever skated to date. It used to be the Sundsvall Bridge in Sweden. You see a picture right here. But now it's definitely the Golden Gate Bridge. Now, every now and then in the video, I'll show you this picture over here, showing you where I am. I did the bridge back and forth, and the second half I did in time-lapse mode. And I'll show you exactly where I am at the bridge using this picture. I did not encounter any other inline skater. That was not surprising to me. But also later on I found out that inline skating was actually not allowed on the bridge. It's illegal. And here you see the signs that are posted at the entrance of the bridge, and I hope you can agree with me that it was not obvious from those signs that inline skating was not allowed. I did actually somewhat encounter the bridge police, and I'll show you that later on in the video. Now, talking about the wind on the bridge is spectacular. It's part of the experience, really, so I decided to not take out the wind for sure or edit it. It's part of the authentic experience. I turned off the background music. I don't think background music in this video does justice to the Spartan conditions on the bridge. And when I have a time-lapse episode in the video or a still picture, I edited in some wind noise to continue the authentic experience. Now, truth be told, I had uploaded this movie already at an early stage, but I think as a result of it, it has been kind of hidden, and I think because this is a legendary trip, it deserves more attention. So what I did is I revamped the video, upgraded it, and re-uploaded it. Alright, this is a special trip, so it required a special introduction, but those were enough words for now. Let's go to Marina Boulevard and start the trip. So my target for today is the Golden Gate, of course, world famous. And the plan was indeed to head out there. It's just that I didn't know yet if that was even possible. And I think it is. There's a bike lane, looked it up. We just have a few kilometers left
before we get there. You see one big ship passing under it already, and that will tell you that the bridge will be high. Just asked the local if I was on the right track to the bridge. He said yes, and I said also on the right track. We're going up the bridge. He said yes, but that looks very difficult. I said well, yeah, it's not going to be easy. No, look at how high the cars are already. We have to still start climbing. I think over there I see a very steep bike lane going up. Alright, so this is it. I'm gonna record it in time-lapse modus. This is the start. From what it looks like, there's a heavy climb over here, then some less heavy but still decent climbing on the way. The fact that the cars are already this high and we still have to start climbing, that is worrisome. So I'll see you at the top. Yeah, that's rough. Whew. That lady in front of me on the bike, she was walking uphill. More climbing coming up. My ears just popped. That's a first during inline skating. That is definitely a first. That the elevation differences are so high, then my ears start popping. But so far so good. Oh yeah! Just under 8 minutes. Well done. It's tough. It's doable. It's actually a toll road actually now. Another remarkable thing. No pedestrians are allowed. I'm gonna take off my hat because it's very windy here, as you can imagine. I wonder what that will do to the inline skating itself, actually. That'll be a challenge on its own. Okay. Gonna start the rest of the bridge. I have to be careful because there are only bikers here, and also the wind, as I mentioned. I wonder what effect that will have on the blading itself. We'll see. I see the pedestrian part is on the other side, but I'm better off with the bikers, I can tell you that. Here's the tower. It's foggy, it's cold, it's windy, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this. Look at the fog. Downtown should be over there, the whole city of San Francisco. Nothing to see. Nothing to see. Huh. Awesome. Wind conditions ahead. Yeah, no kidding. Golden Gate Bridge. I'm standing standing on the side because bikers can come around the corner any given moment, as you can see. So at least some names of the people that were likely involved are listed over here. Let's roll around the corner to the increased wind conditions. Now the fog is getting more intense as we head toward the middle of the bridge. Tower still ahead of us, we cannot even see it. The speed limit is 15. I wanted to show you something. The net. I guess that's to prevent people from committing suicide. This is the middle of the bridge. Assuming that the bridge is completely symmetrical, and I'm now at the highest point of the bridge. I believe this part right here is the lowest point for the cables. Yeah, there's really not that much to see, right? I'm being watched by an officer on the other side. Bridge patrol over there. Well, maybe it's time to go then. So there is a small part called Bridge Patrol, and the security officer looked at me like I shouldn't be here. I tried to communicate with the officer if I was not allowed to be here, then I would just go. You know, I have to go anyway. This is so awesome. The second tower is only now starting to emerge from the fog. It was hidden all the time. There's no wind here. Feels funny. The wind is too much for some cyclists. So over there, a new county starts, Marin County. All right. Let's go to the other side. Also here, a net to prevent people from committing suicide, I think. Oh, the downhill doesn't look so bad at all. So far, so good. These cliffs over here, that's pretty nice. This bridge can actually be closed, as you can see. That road doesn't really look all that attractive, honestly. but it is nice perhaps to give you a view from this side of the bay. I'll go back and I'll do that in one fell swoop. Entering San Francisco City and County. Intensifying big time. The vision is more limited than on the way to the other side. The concrete is getting a little wet, as you can see here. Let's see how we're doing. Approach. So let's see. 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Now. Full transparency. You remember the way up here? I'm not gonna do that. That's too steep. The first part is too steep. Really. That is getting, I think, a little bit dangerous. So I'm gonna put on my shoes and walk to the bus stop. And I think this also concludes then a new record in my collection. The largest bridge that I've ever done. It was quite the adventure, I have to say. I've seen the fog intensifying. At some point you cannot orientate yourself very well anymore. At some point on the way back I was like, did I already pass the first tower? Yes or no? It's cold, it's very windy. Awesome. It was awesome. I'm really happy that I did it. So full disclosure, this is my way back. Inline skates in the bag, as you can see. Just to close off this video. Off we go. Yeah. Awesome bridge. Interestingly, on the day I started this video, in which, you know, fog plays a key role, my hometown of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, had an unusually thick fog as well, which you can see clearly along the many waterways of the city. That's pretty cool. It's, you know, how fate wanted it, apparently. Fog as the unified theme of the day.